Good morning, everyone on TikTok, everyone on our socials. I I'm Ahmad Yakzan, the attorney at the American Dream Law Office, and we're here talking about immigration law like we do every week. I do have a bunch of questions that I have from you all that we got over the last week, and we have a bunch of questions that if you guys want to give me questions in English or in Arabic, we're actually, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I don't know what you guys think about our new logo. This is the first time I actually use it in a live. Comment down there and like it if you like it. If we are going to talk about a bunch of things today. Just make sure, please, that you follow us. I'm gonna be on for about 30 minutes or so. I did something new this time. If you are on our socials, um, there is a link in my profile that actually talks about the you can actually go in. It's a bot. You can actually send in all of the information about your case, and we will be more than happy to answer them. That way, you will be actually you will be able to send us all your information, and we'll be actually be able to talk to you as a lead, not just as a person on TikTok. I know sometimes we connect with people, and if we don't connect right away, we're going to have an issue. On TikTok, I am looking for about 500 hearts today. If you are able to call or send in any requests, please do. I just don't want a lot of personal information in there. And my friend Elizabeth Kearns just said, "Hello, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you, Elizabeth? It's good to see you. Thank you so much for following." Guys, I really appreciate you. We had a great, great, great year this far at the American Dream Law Office. We keep getting a lot of clients every month, and I appreciate you. And it's because of my great social media team and my great graphic designer. And I have them both. They work overseas for me, and I really appreciate what they do every single week. Um, I appreciate you guys for following us. I do need to ask you a favor. We're trying to reach 15,000 followers on TikTok, and we're trying to boost up our other socials. So if you're seeing us on the other socials, I would really um, appreciate a follow and a like and a comment if you don't mind. On YouTube, we're getting a lot of followers, new followers, because of those lives. So I would really appreciate it if you guys leave us some follows and leave us some likes on YouTube. I would really appreciate it. And as I said, all the handles are at American Dream Law Office. So if you look up American Dream Law Office anywhere in the world, we're the only one who's going to we're the only one who's going to show up, because we're the only one who actually own the trademark, and we're the only ones that are lawyers in any part of the world. So if you want to connect with us, I would really appreciate it. And Elizabeth, thank you so much for the referral. Elizabeth is a friend of mine. We went to law school together, and I get the best cases from people that refer them to me, either from lawyers or former clients. I promise you, former clients are uh, the best referral sources, because they talk me up so much about what I've been able to do for them. So that the other person who's talking to me for the first time is just pre-sold. And people like Elizabeth, I get a lot of referrals from attorneys, and I really appreciate her, and I really appreciate Elizabeth. I hope all is well. Guys, if you could also share my live, I would really appreciate it. That way we can get some more followers on here, and we can get some more people to watch us. Um, so this is a huge day today. It's election eve in the United States. I am not going to tell you who I voted for or who I'm going to vote for. I actually voted for my first presidential election this week, a couple of weeks ago. I think it was last week. and I did it because my mother-in-law is a little sick, and she wasn't gonna be able to do it later. So she's going through some stuff this week. So I was able to take her vote with her, and it was really special because it was my first time voting in a presidential election, and I was very proud of doing that. It took me a long time to vote because I was trying the I was trying to get to vote, and I applied for my citizenship literally on the day I was able to. But because of the pandemic, it took a very long time, so I wasn't able to vote in 2020, even though I applied almost a year before the election. So that's why this was my first presidential. So please, 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 if you are a United States citizen and you have the right to vote, please, please, please don't wait and go vote. I don't really care for who you vote for as long as you vote. Thank you so much. And I'm not going to get into politics or anything, but vote if you could. Thank you so much. So do it, do it, do it today, do it tomorrow. I would really appreciate you guys, and hopefully next week we can discuss about how things went, and we can discuss, what if we have a president elect. We will discuss what policies they have and what policies they're going to have um, when we will discuss their policies and see what impact they will have on your life if you're here undocumented, documented, or anything like that, or you're overseas and trying to come to the United States. I'll be more than happy to speak about it next week. um, hopefully on Wednesday, but I don't know if we're gonna have someone on Wednesday or Thursday already declared, but we will see how it goes. Thank you guys so much for the hearts on TikTok. I really appreciate it. If we can get 70 more, I would really appreciate it. Okay, so I got a question. Hi, brother Ahmed. I'm an EB3 unskilled workers. My priority date is 09/13/22, if possible, to be current in 2025. I really don't know, Serena. Thank you so much for the question. We got the question from YouTube. The problem that we have is, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the United States, and I explained this a couple of months ago. The United States has priorities when it comes to family petitions and work petitions. So she's asking about EB3. That means Um, she's on the third level in when it comes to employment preferences as an unskilled worker, and those actually you have to wait a very long time for them. The problem that we have is, in the United States, unfortunately, it takes a very long time for some of those, and especially for the unskilled workers, because the unskilled workers everybody can apply for. um, you are going to have you're going to have a huge issue, um, waiting for the green card to come current. The EB3 a couple of years ago actually became current for a little bit, and then a lot of people applied for the green cards, and it became, it retrogressed. So if you're asking me how is it gonna go, is it gonna be current next year? I really don't know. It's gonna depend on a lot of things. So, for example, if a lot of people, if someone gets elected who's not pro business petitions, we're going to have an issue, and you might actually, your priority number might move up. When I got my H1B and my green card, literally the numbers were running from 1 year to the next, and my priority date was current when I applied for my green card. I was on EB2 because I had a master's in law. So I really don't know. We will see what happens, Serena. I wish you the best of luck, and if I can help with anything, thank you for the question. If I can help with anything, call us. If you're in the United States, the number is 888-963-7326. If you want to call us on WhatsApp, the number is +1-727-301-9328. And I want to put a plug in here for, in the next couple of months, we're going to be announcing something very big at the American Dream Law Office. You guys should stay tuned for it. We're going to be doing some really cool things on on Kajabi with some courses and all of that stuff that you guys will be able to see. So again, if you wanna reach us on the internet, you can do adlo.law, and connect with us that way. Um, all right. Okay, so the question that I have is first question that we got from you guys: can I apply for a green card while overseas? My mother filed a petition and she's a US citizen. So, as I was talking about the different preferences that we have in the United States, we have them for both family petitions and a green and family petitions and business petitions. This question is about a family petition. So, as I also explained before, that if you're applying under a preference, if you are one of the if your mom is a U.S. citizen, that's what the questioner asked. If your mom a U.S. citizen, is going to depend on your age. So if you're under 21 and your mom is a U.S. citizen, you'll become what's called an immediate relative, and you're going to be able to get a green card right away. This person is overseas. However, if you're married or you're over 21, there is about a 7 to 8 year wait that you have to wait for your number to become current. So that's why I'm saying that if you're overseas, you're going to be able to get your green card, but it's going to depend on what your age is, and if you are from a country that has high subscription rate like India or China or Mexico. All of these things would change the answer on how long you're going to wait. But absolutely, your mother can actually apply for you if you are outside the United States and she's a U.S. citizen. Okay. The next question is: I was deported in 2003. Can I apply for a visitor visa? I have a 10-year ban. Now, this is actually a very good question. Um, if you've been in the United States and you've been deported, there is a bunch of waivers that you're going to need to be able to come to the United States. There is a couple of things that you need to apply for. There is a waiver that you have to apply for the removal, for the deportation, and the next thing that you have to apply for possibly is a waiver of unlawful presence. So if you were here in the United States uh, for more than a year, and the person said that they have a 10-year ban, that means that they were here in undocumented way for 10 years in the United States, for more than 1 year in the United States. That's why they have the 10-year ban. You possibly can apply for a waiver if you have a qualifying relative who's going to allow you to apply for the waiver. So we're gonna need to do some digging, but it's possible to do. You can apply for a 212 waiver with the 601 waiver and be able to come back to the United States. I wouldn't do it on a visitor visa though. Let's see if you have a possible way to get a green card. Because a visitor visa is going to be almost impossible because you stayed here in an undocumented way, and I don't know if the people are going to allow, if the consular officer is going to give you a visitor visa or not. So if you could do a green card, I would be more than happy to do that for you. Again, if you want to call the office, it's 888-963-7326. And from outside the United States, the number is +1-727-301-9328. If you want to get in touch with us on WhatsApp. All right. So the next question is: I own a food truck. Can I apply for an investor visa? This is actually a great segue because on the 29th of November, I know it's the day after Thanksgiving, I'm going to be giving a live webinar on investment visas. If you want to take advantage of that, email us at intake@americandreamlawoffice.com, and we'll be able to enroll you in that or send you an email about it. Call us, email us at intake@americandreamlawoffice.com, and we will be able to send you the link for that for you to enroll. I'm going to be speaking about all types of investment visas: E2s, L1s, EB5s, H1Bs, all of those. We're going to be talking about it. There is a fee for it. It's about $50, but I will give you credit for that if you actually sign up for a consultation with me afterwards. So again, if you're trying to come here on an investor visa, I will be more than happy to do it. I will send the link out. Email us at intake@americandreamlawoffice.com, and I will be able to discuss that with you and see how we can help. All right. I got a question on TikTok. It says my I-130 was approved yesterday and had an RFE on public charge, and I applied same day. When will it get approved? I really have no idea. It depends on where you are, depends on what the preference category is. It depends on what grounds on the public charge were you able to actually uh, overcome the public charge um, bar or not, and it's going to depend on a lot of things, and it's impossible for me to tell you when it's going to be approved. Replied if you replied the same day, it's going to take at least 6 to 8 months or so. So just it they're taking a very long time because again they're waiving the interviews, so they're having a lot of petitions. So I truly cannot tell you how long it would take. It depends on the jurisdiction and depends on your local office where you are, because the local office is the one that would be approving or denying the petition. But it should be soon. And depending on what happens with the change in administration, it might take longer, but it might not. So just be patient, please. If you're on a better footing than a lot of people, so just be patient. Okay. So the next question is my boyfriend. Oh no, I own a food truck. Can I apply for an investor visa? Like I was saying, in a month we're going to have at the end of the month we're going to have an investor visa webinar. What you need to do is just email us, or better yet, go to the link in my profile, um, and go to the link in my profile. You will be able to um, send us your information on Intaker, and if you send us your information, um, we'll be able to send you that webinar. We'll send out the blast about it in a week or so. So go ahead and send us a message, or go to that link. It's in the Intaker link. Send us your information. We'll be able to enroll you and let you know when we go on live for the webinar. Bilal, of course, I remember you. How are you? Bilal is a friend of mine. I've known him since I was a kid. He's a friend of mine in Beirut. It's good to see you, Bilal. Bilal, if you want to go ahead and follow us, I would really appreciate it. Okay, let me answer the question. So someone said that they have a food truck. Can they apply for an investor visa? So it's a couple of things that we have to worry about. If the person is here in the United States and they already have a food truck, I don't know what their current immigration status is, but if they are in status, uh, so if the person is here and they're in undocumented status, they will not be able to get an investor visa. But if they do have a food truck and they're outside the United States, we can actually use the you can actually use the food truck to apply for an investor visa overseas. So depending on if the person is here if the person is here with status or not status, we might be able to actually get them the investor visa. Again, if you are from the 46 countries that I spoke to about the E2 visas before, if you qualify in one of those countries, from one of those countries, you will be able to get the investor visa. Let me know. Again, the E2 doesn't have um, a minimum amount for investment. So if you are from one of those E2 countries, I think that's what I would use if you have a food truck. So you don't have to worry about how much money you're investing, because the food truck might actually work. Bilal, contact my office at +1 727 301 9328. +1 727 301 9328. That's the WhatsApp number for the office, and we can connect you, and you can talk to me and see what we can do for your mother. Again, it's 727 301 9328 +1 727 301 9328. Thank you, Bilal. Thank you so much. And my regards to your mom and your sister. Okay. Oh, this is a question. This next question that we're talking about is a very popular one. It says, my boyfriend entered the country crossing the border. Can he travel here in the US? Absolutely. There is nothing stopping you. You actually have a constitutional right to travel if you're inside the United States. It doesn't matter if you're undocumented or not documented or anything like that, or you have a visa, you will be able to travel inside the United States. It's not an issue. And unless, as long as you have a valid photo ID, you will be able to travel outside the United States. Now, when I just gotta give you a warning that sometimes they could catch you. Homeland Security is the one that runs that does run DHS and all of that stuff, and the TSA, they might question you if you actually are trying to do that. But as long as you have a valid photo ID, you should be fine to travel in the United States. Just don't travel outside the United States, because then you will trigger inadmissibility. But if you're here in the United States, documented or undocumented, I have clients that we traveled to Miami together for hearings, and it wasn't an issue. So if you are here in the United States and you have a valid ID, uh, you should be able to actually travel. That's not an issue. Okay, just give me 1 second, guys. All right. So the next question that we have is, I'm DACA recipient that recently got married to a U.S. citizen. Can I apply for a green card through marriage? Again, I get this question a lot, and I think what Congress is doing to people with DACA is absolutely unconscionable. But that's a conversation for another day. If you are in the United States and you have DACA and you married to a United States citizen, you're going to be able to apply for a green card through marriage. I need to know one of two things. The first one is, how did you enter the country? If you entered the country legally, even as a kid with your parents, for you to be able to get a green card, you have to make an entry legally into the United States. Your parents could not have just smuggled you across the border with you. You have to have a legal entry. Now, if your parents did not have a legal entry and brought you with them, you can still apply for a green card if you have an exception. And there is an exception called 245I. You just pay the penalty under the Clinton law, and you will be able to actually apply for your green card here in the United States. We just have to know how your parents came in. So if you are able to do that, if you're able to prove that you made a legal entry into the United States, you will be able to apply for a green card through marriage. And I've done it a gazillion times for clients. Now, the last thing I'm going to say about this is, if you've been here for 10 years and you're married to a U.S. citizen, even though you didn't make a legal entry into the United States, you can still apply for the parole in place, the PIP law that Biden signed in June, and that will allow you to cure your your undocumented entry into the United States, or your irregular entry into the United States. So you will be able to cure that if you get granted parole in place to the United States. So just because someone made an undocumented entry that you didn't have any control over with your parents or anybody doesn't mean that you cannot get a green card. Call me 888-963-7326, and I will be more than happy to help you. Give me a call. Please don't do this on your own. A lot of times I have clients try to do things on their own, and it goes very badly for them before you before they speak to an attorney, it goes very badly, and it's going to cost you a third of what's going to cost you to defend yourself in removal proceedings, just if you had talked to an attorney and hired an attorney to do it for you. So don't do it on your own. And if you've been here for a long time, at least speak to an immigration attorney to make sure that you're going to be able to get your green card through marriage, even though you're on DACA. Guys, on TikTok, we have 124 hearts to go to 1,000. So if you're following us, if you're watching us on TikTok, could you please like it? 124. I know we can get there. I would really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. My cousin is detained by ICE. Can he file for self-deportation? This question we got this past week regarding someone wanting to just leave the country. There is something in removal proceedings called voluntary departure. And voluntary departure means you're going to leave the country voluntarily without having the government to enter an order of removal against you and all of that stuff. Now, I have done voluntary departure for a lot of clients. One of the things that is required and is more likely to let the government not oppose your voluntary departure is if you don't have any criminal record. If you do have a criminal record, then they're going to fight it. If the person has a criminal record, especially if it's some sort of an aggravated felony or a felony, they might not actually want to let you voluntarily depart the country, and they're going to force you to take a removal order, because that removal order, it's going to stop you from coming back to the United States easy. So that's why, depending on what the person that we're talking about, what kind of criminal background that led to their detention by ICE, depending on what they have on their background, we might be able to get them voluntary departure. Otherwise, if they have something criminal and it's egregious or it's very serious, you might not be able to actually get it. All right, we got a couple more questions, and we're almost at the 30-minute mark. I entered through the border 3 years ago. I got married to a U.S. citizen, but I was told that I needed to leave the country and come back. Why would I have to leave the country and come back if I got married to a U.S. citizen? And we just spoke about this when we spoke about the DACA question. When I answered the DACA question, the issue that you're going to have is that the law in the United States right now requires you to have made a legal entry into the United States for you to be able to get a green card. So if you cross the border without parole, without anything, you're not going to be able to do it. And even some kinds of parole that you're using, that the government is allowing you to come into the United States under, some types of the parole that they're using does not actually allow you to get a green card, because it's a humanitarian parole, and the Board of Immigration Appeals and several of the circuit courts have ruled that that's not actually enough for you to prove entry into the United States legally. So you're going to be able to apply for the green card and get the green card if you leave the country and come back. You have to cure the undocumented entry into the United States for you to be able to adjust your status. And that's exactly what I just spoke about when I answered the question about DACA. You have to have a legal entry into the United States. If you don't have the legal entry into the United States, the current law says that you can apply for a provisional waiver to waive your undocumented time in the United States if you have any. Leave the country and come back, and then you'll be able to get the green card. And as I said, under that PIP law that I spoke about, that Biden signed in June, you will be able to actually you don't have to leave the country if you're granted PIP. But this person said that they've been in the country for 3 years. That law requires 10 years in the United States before you're able to take advantage of that. So make sure that you don't do anything. Without speaking to an immigration attorney. Please, please, please. We have one of those cases right now. So, okay. So a couple of things. Please go vote. As I said, your vote is your right. It's your power. Please go vote if you're a U.S. citizen and you're trying change this country, please go vote. That's number one. Number two, we're gonna start doing some webinars on how to get green cards and investment visas and visitor visas, and we're gonna do them very soon. So if you want to um, to talk to us about it, I would be more than happy to. And I'm going to send out emails. So if you want to go to my link in my profile and enter your name and your email address and your phone number, we'll be able to include you in the blast when it comes out. That's number two. And number three, follow us. I would really appreciate follows on all of our socials and follows on TikTok. I will see you guys on Thursday. Thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for following us. And I will see you guys in a couple of days. Have a good day.